Many people don't believe that mortgages work in Nigeria until you see someone who's actually benefited from that. When you buy a house or any real estate property for that matter, there are some specific documents that you need to show ownership. Without doing that, what you have on that property is simply possession. Even the person who sold to you can resell to someone else. And if the person is smart enough, you lose out.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of the Investment Talk with Chuka. You know, what we do here, or what I try to do here, is to bring investment ideas, open people's eyes to all sort of investment, and then leave you to make your choice. Alright, so the last video we made has to do with housing, mortgage, and housing is a very essential need of every human being. And so we've got a lot of reactions, a lot of questions. Then we decided to come back again to deep into all there is to know as regard mortgage, because we felt that the last time we didn't have enough time to address it, and so we're going to see if we can cover up all there is that everybody needs to know about mortgages. So having said that, I've decided to bring back the mortgage guru himself, Mr. Aremi. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Nice to be here again.
So I'm sorry I had to bring you back because of the need for people to know that here in Investment Talk with Chuka, we want the best for our audience, right? I felt it would be nice to bring you back again so that we can dissect again everything A to Z about mortgage. There are different types of mortgages, right? So we have to just dissect each and every one of them so that people can also be better informed. So welcome once again.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
So I think why we're having these many questions is because mortgage, as far as I'm concerned, is relatively new in the Nigerian space. So the questions we get will not be out of place, but we'll just try as much as possible to see how quickly we can tackle them. Prior to this time, we had talked about the National Housing Fund. We also talked about some other mortgages, but I think we gave the characteristics of the National Housing Fund, so viewers can refer to those videos for what they need to know about the NHF. So because of time, we'll just go into the other, mortgage options that we have.
Yeah.
First, let's discuss the help to own mortgage.
Yeah.
The help to own mortgage is coming from the Family Homes Fund Limited. Those are the people who champion this product in collaboration with mortgage banks.
Okay.
In the last video, we did talk about the help to own product a bit, and I think one of the reactions you got from your audience I saw after that video was the fellow was saying the blended rate of 18% was even still considered too high.
Too high, yeah.
Even though it's still lower than the what we have in the market.
Exactly.
Yeah, but this one is fresh from the oven. We had a meeting with Family Homes Fund Limited.
After the last video.
Yeah, after the last video. In trying to bring down this interest rate for the help to own mortgage, there is now the window for people to access part of the money from the Ministry of Finance Incorporated through the MRIF window.
Okay.
So prior to this time, with the help to own mortgage, the subscriber pays 10% of the property price, which must not be more than 70 million. Property price must not be more than 70 million. Subscriber pays 10% minimum. And then Family Homes Fund Limited funds 40%, while the mortgage bank funds 50%.
Okay.
Which some persons, consider too high. So during the meeting on Thursday, they said, okay, the 50% that is to come from the mortgage bank, because that is what is making the interest rate seemingly expensive.
Yeah.
So they have now said that 50% that is coming from the mortgage bank can be sourced from the Ministry of Finance Incorporated. That's through the MRIF product.
Okay.
So they can source that one through MRIF. I know MRIF is 12%. It's a known fact. Just like the NHF is a known fact, NHF is 6%. MRIF is also given at 12%. So the mortgage bank cannot give you for more than 12%. So by the time you blend 12% and then the Family Homes Fund rate, the blended rate is going to come to about 9-something%, single digits.
Okay.
So that's a new development. And once it's in place, we now have two single-digit mortgages in Nigeria. So there's the NHF at 6%, and then there's the help to own 9-something%. So once that has been fine-tuned, that should settle.
Wow, excellent. It appears that people's prayers have been answered, because the viewer who made that comment, by the time he sees this video, will be wondering, oh, okay, I guess, you people have me in mind, another. So, but again, I would like to ask, for the sake of those who didn't watch the previous video, if you could just explain what MRIF is, so that people can understand it.
So the MRIF is Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund.
Okay.
right? It's run by the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
Federal Ministry of Finance Incorporated. They provide funding to individuals to buy houses through a mortgage bank, of course. So the MREIF now determines the rate that the mortgage bank is going to advance these monies to people. Currently, it's 12%. So they release the money to the mortgage bank, which now does on-lending to the subscribers at 12%.
Okay.
So, and the maximum you can get there is 100 million. So that's the catch. While NHF is capped at 50 million, then the help to own is capped at a property price of 70 million. MREIF caps their mortgage loan at 100 million. So it means you can even finance a property of, say, 120 million. If you see 120 million, if you make 10% down payment, equity contribution, you can get up to 100 million mortgage. So that's the advantage of the MREIF.
Okay.
But with the MREIF, you're getting 12% per annum.
Yeah.
You understand? For a tenure of 20 years max. The help to own product is also 20 years max.
Yeah.
The NHF is the one that gives you extended period up to 30 years, but of course subject to your age.
To your age, yeah. So this 9% you talked about earlier, when is it likely to be operational?
We just had the meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
This Thursday. So we're still looking at the space. These are part of it. In fact, we're working around the clock. You know, start to see that mortgage interest rates are brought down to the barest minimum. And that's something I know all the stakeholders in the mortgage subsector are working really hard to, you know, to take care of. If the housing deficit in this country is a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. The NHF alone cannot take care of that deficit. So we need other players. And that's why there's now the MREIF, there's the help to own products, all of them to see that we bring down that deficit.
So what other type of mortgage do we have?
Yeah, we have the rent to own. Okay. Now with the rent to own, the interest rate is 7%. It's also run by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. So all of the other characteristics with the NHF are the same, but only the interest rate is 7% per annum. You can get for up to 30 years, subject to your age, and the maximum loan amount there is also 50 million. You do not need a mortgage bank if you want to apply for the rent to own. All you need to do is identify an FMBN funded project.
Okay. It has to be funded.
Yes, by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. So you
go
there and then you do the rent to
own. Okay, fantastic. So, what are the factors you think hinders accessing mortgage in Nigeria? We discussed a bit in some other videos. Ignorance is one. Many people don't believe that mortgages work in Nigeria until you see someone who's actually benefited from that scheme. And then the second one is, I think, knowledge gap on the path of intending home buyers around the issue of documentation. You know, when you buy a house or any real estate property for that matter, there are some specific documents that you need to show ownership of that property. If you buy a phone, the receipt that you'll be issued is good enough to say you are the owner of that phone. But with a real estate property, it is not like that. You're expected to get a deed of assignment or a deed of sublease, which will be perfected at the relevant state land registry. The governor has to consent to that transaction. So what that means is that the governor is the chief landlord of all the lands under his jurisdiction. So he's the one that allocates land to people. So if you have a land without a CFO, you don't have freehold. The governor has to give you that CFO, giving you the authority to, you know, take care of that land. For a period of usually 99 years, we stated on the CFO, which you are expected to renew after the expiration. So many people go into these real estate transactions with the expectation that the deed of assignment that they will sign with their sellers is okay. No, if you sign the deed of assignment with your seller, the governor is still not aware. The chief landlord is still not aware of that transaction. So you must take that deed of assignment to the lands registry, where the governor will now consent to it. To say, yes, although this land has been invested to someone else, he has allocated this land to someone else, he is now consenting to that man giving the unexpired term to someone else. So he has to consent to any transfer that will happen on that land. And that comes at a cost. These are statutory costs that you can even verify online. I know for Lagos State, as from the last time we checked, was about 3% of the property price, plus some other fixed costs. You can browse these things; they are public knowledge. You know, so when you compute this cost and then tell these people that you have to provide for this much, so that we can perfect your title, that is the only way that document becomes a title document and can be used as collateral. The customer say, no, this cost is a lot, I can't bear it. Forgetting that without doing that, what you have on that property is simply possession. You do not have ownership. Anything can happen. You do not have ownership. They can revoke. Even the person who sold to you can resell to someone else. And if the person is smart enough to
perfect that title before you lose out. Whenever you're going to any real estate transaction, first ask to see the title covering the property. Now they will provide you with that title. It's not good enough to just look at it and okay it. You have to take it to the land registry. If the property is in Lagos State, you take it to Lagos Land Registry, Lausa. You understand?
Yeah.
Depending on where in Lagos the property is located, there are some areas in Lagos that you might have to verify from the federal land registry, depending on the area. I know areas like I know there is Magodo, some areas around that Lekki area too. In Festac too, for instance, you don't go to Lausa to verify, properties in Festac. It belongs to the federal government. So depending on where the area is, you have to go visit the land registry where that document is domiciled to verify the authenticity of that document.
The one that belongs to the federal government, where do you go for?
There is the federal land registry you can go to.
Okay. In every state, or you have to go to Abuja?
They have in Abuja. I know in Lagos State they also have an office in Lagos State where you can verify those things.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you just visit them, make sure you verify that that title actually exists in that registry, and also verify that there is no mortgage currently on that, property.
Okay. For me, aside food, mortgage is the next most important aspect of a human being. And again, like you said, the real estate business in Nigeria is beginning to develop. People need information. People need to be aware. The last conversation we had, when you made a statement as regard if your rent is between 2 million to 2.5 to 3 million, I mean, you have no business. And, but that is the truth, because going by some of the conversations we've had here now and then the enlightenment you've given, it's very obvious that people are not aware. All right, so please leave your doors open. We will come back again. Of course, because here, what we do here in Investment Talk with Chuka is, to bring the best to our audience, bring in experts who understand what is obtainable, authorities in different fields, and then for the delight of our viewers. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you coming. Yeah, viewers, thank you. We've seen it. You ask and we deliver. We are here to ensure that we make you happy at no cost, absolutely no cost. All right. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Till we meet again. This is Investment Advisor Chuka Nwachukwu. Bye bye for now.